Teach your children well. Their father's help did slow.
I chose the digital learning and teaching program because it was a true area of need for me. Technology is something that I needed to be forced into, and I realized that if I didn't take this program, I would probably not take the time on my own to learn about the tools that are available to help me be a more effective teacher. I am an RSP teacher at a charter school and am responsible for students K through 8 with varied needs for special education services. I had hoped by taking the digital learning and teaching master's program that I would be able to integrate technology into my professional life and become adept at things that in the past have been a struggle. I went back to school as an adult to pursue my bachelor's degree with the hope of eventually becoming a teacher. I chipped away very slowly at my education for some time, meanwhile raising my family and working. During this time, I discovered a lot about myself as a student. Although I always wanted to be the one in the driver's seat, I was not one who did really well in traditional school. I can't say that I really struggled, but my focus was such that I often did not do my personal best. Going back to school as an adult has been a very different story for me. Having my adult focus and drive, I've been able to learn how to do school and to understand my learning style. This is also what attracted me to special education. I found that those of us who do not come to the party with great focus and study skills can learn them and even excel in education. I developed good study habits and found that I love to learn. Choosing the digital master's program has been a good decision on a personal level. I have adult children in their early 20s who are technically savvy. Pushing me out of my dinosaur ways, I am now able to get in good contact with them through our varied electronic devices. And I am better able to understand their world. I have made a major addition to my spiritual timeline. During my final course before Capstone, my father unexpectedly passed away. He was my mom's primary caregiver, and I have now taken over that role. Taking a master's program while you're working full-time, stressful job does not necessarily contribute to spiritual growth. But letting go of some of my perfectionism to give priority where it is due did require spiritual guidance and acceptance. It's a new chapter in my life and is turning out to be a sequel in my mom's. She and I have both had to practice a serenity prayer on a daily basis. Completion of this program will allow me to have more time to dedicate to my students, family, and friends. It has been very stressful for me juggling school, work, and family, and I will be very relieved to have this accomplished and no longer having it hanging over my head. Having now worked with many teachers who have received their credential masters from different schools, I can see that APU has given me an advantage. I was prepared well for all the required assessments to become a teacher, and I feel that I have a better understanding of special education as well as a good foundation for the K through 8 expectations. I took my upper division bachelor's at APU, which also laid a wonderful foundation for the credential master's program. My educational vision has evolved to embrace the understanding that technology can be critical for certain students. Most of my students have either auditory or visual processing deficits, and many of them have both. Technology is a tremendous tool for multimodality teaching and learning. At the beginning of this program, my technical prowess was minimal. I used email, Microsoft Word, and set up a Facebook account to stalk my teenage children. I now use an iPhone and can't imagine my life without this wonderful tool. I use multiple apps every day. I don't know how I ever live without sending pictures of myself doing embarrassing things to my friends. My first class that I took for this program was Instructional Applications of Productivity. It broke the ice and I became more comfortable with technology. I learned how to integrate technology from the use of an Elmo in the classroom, and we were introduced to building our own website and how to use Skype. Because of this, I didn't feel like a complete bonehead when I had to use Adobe Connect for my department meetings. In evolving educational technologies, we learned how to further develop our websites. This has become a valuable tool for my students to develop and display their artifacts while using their multiple intelligences. I also learned how to develop a podcast, but oddly, my favorite takeaway from this course was the use of blogs for information and informing. I have found them to be very helpful when struggling with issues educationally and personally. After taking about a 2-year break from my master's, I started back with Learning in the 21st Century to find out that the program now required an iPad. I was pretty upset at first because of the financial outlay and additional learning curve to deal with, but it's turned out to be a wonderful resource for me and my students. I love my app for creating spelling lists and Notability, apps for math. So many apps, so little time. The digital video in the classroom course was a lot of fun. We learned about the value of video in the classroom, shots and angles, converting video into proper format, how to edit videos, and I started videotaping in my classroom.
Diamondback, rattlesnake, and what other rattlesnakes? I know name.
We created a YouTube channel, and I learned about my favorite app, Animoto. Here's a couple samples of my Animoto videos.
I'd like to go out today somewhere new. I'm on my way, you come too.
Because of this program, I truly can see the value of technology in the classroom. I will make it a priority to stay on top of these new skills that I have developed. Thanks to my master's degree, I do have a new goal. I received my lower division coursework from a community college and was inspired by several of my professors there who had a passion for teaching. I am a big proponent of people using the community college route as a springboard for their further education. As a tribute to those professors that inspired me, I hope to pay it forward and do the same.